Imagine you're in a grand hall, a memory palace where every thought and experience forms part of the architecture. In this cinematic journey, you'll witness the fascinating process that determines why some things stick while others fade away. In this exploration of human memory, you will discover the elegant dance between short-term and long-term memory, learning how fleeting impressions become lasting landmarks in the landscape of your mind. Start by visualizing your memory as a layered structure, each layer forming part of the exquisite edifice of who you are. At the very front door of this memory palace is short-term memory, often called working memory, where your immediate thoughts reside. This is a temporary holding space, a flash display that captures information for just a few moments before it is either dismissed or passed along for deeper storage. Picture the essence of short-term memory as the ticker tape of a busy newsroom. When you learn a phone number or follow a set of directions, your working memory grips onto these details for as long as they're needed, almost like a spotlight shining briefly on a passing moment. However, if you don't actively muster the energy to transfer these details to long-term memory, they simply disappear, like smoke dissolving in the wind. The process of transferring information from your short-term memory into long-term storage is intricate and mesmerizing, a complex choreography that scientists call consolidation. This transformation does not occur spontaneously. It is a deliberate act, a slow and deliberate process that transforms ephemeral moments into enduring memories. The consolidation process fine-tunes interactions between different brain regions, gradually reconfiguring scattered bursts of activity into lasting patterns. Imagine consolidation as a master painter, carefully blending fleeting strokes into a timeless masterpiece. The painter redeems every fleeting color and form from the chaos of the moment, lending structure, texture, and enduring presence to what might otherwise be lost. In your mind, repetition is the gentle brushstroke that reinforces this image, adding definition and clarity with each deliberate pass. When you consciously repeat an experience, whether by rehearsing a piece of information or by re-experiencing a cherished moment, you're not just acting out a routine. Instead, with every repetition, you polish the memory, making it less vulnerable to the inevitable erosion of time. Repetition grants strength, ensuring that the vital threads of experience weave themselves into the permanent tapestry of long-term memory. Equally important is sleep, an unwitting master of memory consolidation. While you rest, your brain doesn't merely switch off. It embarks on a nocturnal symphony of reactivation and recalibration. During sleep, especially in the deep stages, your brain replays moments of the day, reinforcing the neural circuits that store what is important. Think of sleep as the quiet, diligent night guard who ensures that precious information remains secure, defending against the dark forces of forgetfulness. Awareness, attention, and intention play a starring role as well. When you are actively aware of what's happening, when you pay close attention, you create a bridge between the transient nature of short-term memory and the lasting qualities of long-term memory. Your focus acts as a signal, a clarion call to your brain that this moment is important, urging it to allocate more resources for deeper processing. In this layered cinematic universe that is your mind, every moment of heightened awareness is like a beacon that draws potential into permanence. It is when you truly notice something, when you thread it with meaning, that you enhance the likelihood of it being stored securely within your long-term repository. Let's pause and reflect on the vivid interplay between these memory systems. In short-term memory, information is like a delicate bubble, momentarily catching light before it pops. If you grasp at it too tightly, or let it dissolve without careful handling, the bubble will vanish, leaving only a trace. On the other hand, long-term memory is the grand archive, carefully cataloging events, facts, and emotions that define your identity. Without the proper mechanisms of consolidation, repetition, or attention, those ephemeral bubbles would never be saved as permanent memories. At the microscopic level, neural connections build up through repeated firings, much like a runner carving a pathway through overgrown grass. Every repetition, every instance of renewed focus, etches the path deeper into the neural landscape. This process, though subtle and invisible to the naked eye, is the engine behind all memory formation, a process that operates with astonishing precision and consistency. Consider, too, the essential role of time in memory. Each moment is transient, a unique grain of sand that might vanish into the abyss, if not gathered and stored with due care. However, with a blend of conscious effort and natural processes, Some moments become timeless, preserved in the depth of your long-term memory. This selective preservation is not random. It's driven by the criteria of importance, emotion, and repeated exposure. Often, the most profound memories come not from sheer volume alone, but from moments of deep, reflective significance. As you study this interplay, remember that your own story is written not just in every sudden spark of insight, but in every deliberate moment of understanding. Each repeated encounter, each act of focused awareness, gradually sculpts your neural landscape, turning transient thoughts into pieces of lasting wisdom. Notice how the journey from awareness to lasting memory is marked by subtle yet powerful transitions. Initially, new information is like an incoming ripple. It's immediate, transient, and ever-changing. But as the ripple meets the shores of repetition and sleep, it slowly morphs into a standing wave, steady, persistent, and eventually permanent. This is the transformation that underpins every learned skill, every personal experience, every cherished memory. Why do some things stick while others fade? It's because your mind is wired in a way that highlights what you repeat, what you pay attention to, and what you allow to be sculpted in the quiet moments of sleep. Each memory that endures represents a moment where all these factors aligned, a symphony of cognitive, emotional, and physiological processes that conspired to secure that piece of your past. When you practice, when you revisit a piece of knowledge, you are actively cooperating with your brain. You're inviting not just passive storage, but an active, vibrant transformation that turns temporary notes into enduring themes. This collaboration is at the root of every achievement in learning, from mastering a musical instrument to acquiring a new language. The process resembles the artistry behind any creative endeavor: trial, repetition, reflection, and eventually, lasting mastery. In the midst of life's constant flow, it's often the moments of quiet self-awareness that make a decisive difference. When you allow yourself to engage with your thoughts, when you cast aside distractions and immerse fully in the present, you set in motion the gears that convert fleeting consciousness into resilient archives. The layered architecture of your memory responds by reinforcing these moments, ensuring that they shine brightly amidst the more ephemeral flickers of daily experience. As you navigate through your day, every interaction, every experience, and every moment of concentrated awareness leaves an imprint on your brain's grand canvas. Much like an artist's repeated brushstrokes create depth and texture, your focused engagements and moments of sleep allow important memories to emerge clearly from the background noise. With each cycle, the neural pathways become more defined, offering you a clearer map of your personal history. It's essential to acknowledge that the journey of memory is not a solitary process. Interaction with your environment, repeated practice, and even conversations with others provide the fuel that reinforces your recollections. When you are conscious of an experience and revisit it deliberately, through discussions, writing, or even silent reflection, you activate a cycle of reinforcement. Your brain honors these moments, affixing them to the enduring chapters of your memory with a clarity that might otherwise be lost. Visualize your memory as that living tree. The seed is planted in your short-term memory, then nurtured by the rains of repetition and the sunlight of conscious attention. Over time, with the nightly nourishment of sleep, the seed germinates, its roots burrowing deep into the fertile soil of your experiences. Ultimately, the tree blossoms into robust, sprawling branches, a testament to the power of sustained, mindful engagement. In this enriched landscape of your mind, everyone has the ability to decide which memories persist and which fade away. By engaging comprehensively, through repetition, mindfulness, and even the restorative phases of sleep, you harness the natural potential of your memory. Every deliberate act of recollection is akin to polishing a gem, refining it until it glows with lasting brilliance. Encounter these moments as invitations to build upon your inner archive. Even if the information seems trivial at first, a fleeting conversation, a brief scene, an unexpected idea, when you attend to it, you grant it the possibility of transformation into long-term memory, for it is not merely the passage of time, but the conscious effort to remember that governs the permanence of your experience. Take a moment now to consider the wonder of your own mind. The process by which a simple, passing thought blooms into an indelible memory is both delicate and profound. The memory palace is always receptive, always ready to receive the treasures of your life, if only you grant it the prominence of attention. By understanding how short-term memory acts as the temporary sketchpad, and long-term memory serves as the enduring gallery, You unlock the secret to why some things truly stick. Now that you stand at the threshold of this clarity, embrace the inherent roles of repetition, conscious awareness, and restorative sleep as the timeless allies of memory. Recognize that every act of focus is an act of preservation, a commitment to ensuring that the fleeting impressions of life evolve into lasting milestones. Whether you are a student seeking to master new knowledge, an artist capturing the poetry of existence, or simply an observer of the ceaseless flow of time, remember that your capacity to consolidate memory is the essence of learning and growth. In the end, what truly matters is not how quickly a fleeting thought escapes the realm of your mind, but how earnestly you engage with life to transform those moments into lasting memories. Each encounter with the world, each deliberate moment of focus, every echo of repetition, and every quiet night of restorative sleep contributes to the majestic mosaic that is your personal story. So, as you continue on your journey, consider this. Every time you pay attention to a detail, every time you allow yourself a moment of reflection, and every time you let the healing magic of sleep work its wonders, you are meticulously building the exquisite archive of your mind. In this ever-evolving memory palace, choice and intention are your most potent tools. Through careful repetition and engaged awareness, you can determine which moments will shape you. Linger quietly and illuminate your path forward. Embrace this power with quiet wonder, knowing that behind every memory lies a remarkable story of creation, a sophisticated interplay of attention, repetition, sleep, and dry persistence. Each day offers you the unique opportunity to refine your memory, allowing what matters to stick and casting aside what does not. In this way, you sculpt not only your past, but the landscape of your future. This narrative of memory is an invitation, a call to harness the beauty of your internal world with purpose and care. Let it inspire you to be both a curious explorer and a diligent curator of your experiences, and may every cherished moment be celebrated as part of the grand mosaic of your life.